Hey guys, Tomo back in. Welcome to one more review of the OnePlus Open. I previously just finished my final review of this phone, but figured I'd do another video just to address some of the outstanding items that I have. In particular, one thing that I was shocked to find that there's actually a pretty big fan base complaining about how good the OnePlus Open camera is. So I decided to take another deep dive into that. But before going to this video, I just want to give a quick shout out to my partner Mint Mobile. Currently they have 5G plans for as low as $15 a month. Gives you access to really fast data. You also get unlimited talk and text. And for a limited time only, if you buy 3 months, you get 3 months free. This is the best offer of the year, so make sure to check it out. Link in the description below. So this half of the video, I'm gonna be recording it on the OnePlus Open, and in the second half, I'm gonna be recording it in my Pixel 7a, which is gonna be the main focus of my comparison today. At least you get to see some of the differences between the OnePlus camera, the Pixel camera. But before doing a deep dive into the camera, one thing I did not really hit on with the OnePlus series is the IR blaster, which allows you to use your phone as a remote controller. This is actually something that I talked about for many years. Would have been more excited to have in a smartphone. I was super pumped when OnePlus Open included in their phone. Unfortunately, my lifestyle kind of changed. If this happened a few years ago, would have been great. I always trying to find my remote. I use my remote all the time, so it's helpful to have a remote controller in the phones. Samsung and many other manufacturers, Sony had this early in the days, like 10 years ago. Somewhere along the way, they figured consumer didn't really use it that much, so they got rid of it. And now it's nice to see that OnePlus is bringing it back. Unfortunately for me, I didn't really use it during my whole time of using this phone. Since I have a new kid, I barely have time to watch TV anymore. So I like the idea of the IO blaster. If my lifestyle was different, I have more time to watch TV, I would appreciate that more. Okay, now let's jump into the camera, which is going to be the main focus of this video. I didn't realize I was going to offend many OnePlus fans when I pointed out that the OnePlus camera is not that great. But in general, picture quality is always subjective. Depends who you ask. And if you use Pro mode, if you have patience, you want to play with all the settings, you know what you're doing, you can get a pretty good photo out of pretty much any phone, I guess, that has like a Pro mode. But if you're a casual photographer, you prefer point and shoot, which I think most people are, you can just pick up a new phone to start taking a picture. Don't bother doing any editing or anything like that. I feel like from that perspective, the OnePlus Open may not look that good at a first glance, but it's all kind of subjective. Just in general, with any smartphone, if you do any photo editing, you use software to make things look better. You can make almost anything look good if you really put the time and effort into it. All the new Pixel 8 series, they got these AI tools. You can face swap, you can change the background, you can move things around and pretty much edit anything. So the definition of a photo is really subjective. It's all personal preference. Even when you snap a picture on any phone, you can see that it's doing the processing in the background, and the final product actually looks different from the initial picture that you see in your lens. So that's a pretty common practice with any smartphone camera. The software algorithm pretty much do all the processing in the background, so they spit out what they think is a good photo quality, and that is always subjective. One person may like it, another person may not. So for the purpose of all my reviews, I just speak from the perspective of someone who just pick up the phone, point and shoot, and do as little work as possible. So even today, if you grab like a Pixel 4 for $100 or refurbish somewhere, you can take excellent photos with that phone as well. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to be doing some camera shootout with the Pixel 7a and the OnePlus Open. The reason why I chose the 7a is I just happen to have it laying around. I have the 7a, I have the Galaxy S20, Galaxy S22. But just in general, I kind of bucket all those phones into one bucket really. Pixel, iPhone, Galaxy, they generally offer some of the best photos that smartphones do offer, and just in terms of what people prefer. And year to year, they don't really change that much drastically. The lens may get a minor upgrade here and there. With the Ultra series, you get the 100x zoom and all that, but just in terms of the main lens and the processing and the software, all that algorithm don't really change that much from year to year. So there's that. And when I'm taking photos during my tests, I'm just doing some random pictures around the house. I'm pretty busy these days. Didn't really have time to go outside, take a pictures of tree, wait for the sun to set, take pictures of the moon or anything like that. I just snap a few random things that I got around the house and just going to show you guys comparison from that perspective. I don't have any fancy camera tools where I have two phones prop up at the same time and I press at the same time. I'm just reviewing it from the perspective of someone holding a phone, snapping a picture, holding another phone, snapping a picture. So it's just as simple as that. I'm just eyeballing it, normal, everyday people style. I don't claim to be a professional photographer. I'm actually the opposite of that. A lot of my reviews are just based on perspective of a normal everyday person who just pick up his phone and start using it. I like to comment on how it feels, the struggle that one might face, whether the phone is too heavy, too light. And I don't claim I know everything. I learn things as I go. I'm pretty sure if you do enough research and time in one particular phone, you can pretty much do anything with it. Any Android phone, you can root it, you can do all this crazy stuff. iPhone, you can jailbreak and do all that. So even though by default, not everything may be available, but you spend much time and a lot of time and effort, you can do a lot of things. You can download APKs, sideload apps, and do everything like that. You can customize everything to your heart's content. So now let's jump into some of the quick photos that I took with this phone. And once again, it's all your personal preference, which one you like or not. And these are just my personal preferences. Now I'm going to switch over to my Pixel 7a camera. In the past I did comment like I prefer the videos on my Pixel phone compared to the OnePlus Open, and you guys can judge which one you like better. And I'm recording this video 6 o'clock in the evening, sun is down, I'm just sitting in a room, I have a light over my head, that's pretty much it. I don't have any fancy light up setting or anything like that. And like I mentioned in my other videos, one thing that's good about any Android phone, if you don't like the default camera, you can just switch to Gcam. I find that Gcam looks better on the OnePlus Open compared to the stock camera. But now let me switch over to the Pixel 7a camera to record the video, and then I'll finish the rest of the review there. Alrighty, back again with the Pixel 7a recording this video. Let me know which one you guys prefer. I generally prefer the Pixel. But here we are, Pixel 7a, terrible battery life, but good photo and good videos. And here is just some random pictures that I snapped around the house as I was putting this camera test together. So this first picture is just a picture of my Starbucks cup that I almost finished drinking. This first photo is with the OnePlus Open. Looks a little blurry, out of focus. Here is the Pixel 7a. At this point, it looks brighter, clearer, more crisp, more detailed. So maybe we'll just tally this up and see who wins. This is not scientific by any means, but Pixel 7a, 1 point, OnePlus Open, 0. Okay, second test. This is my Warriors hat, which I happen to be wearing on my head at the moment, but at the time of taking this, it was on Starlax. So here is the picture shot on the OnePlus. And here it is on the Pixel 7a. The OnePlus is actually more truer to the color. The yellow logo is a little bit darker compared to the Pixel 7a. 7a looks lighter, like a lighter shade of yellow. But from a real life perspective, me staring at these photos and looking at my hat, I would say the OnePlus is more accurate to what I'm actually seeing in real life compared to the Pixel. They made their pictures lighter by default. Once again, personal preference, which one you like more. But I would argue that OnePlus is better in this case because it's just more accurate and I think it looks better. Next on the list, we got Snorlax. So here's a photo shot with the OnePlus Open. And here it is on the Pixel 7a. You notice the 7a is brighter. In general, people prefer brighter photos. But I think once again, the OnePlus Open actually looks better and is more accurate. Me staring at Snorlax in real life and staring at these two photos, the one on OnePlus actually reflects what I'm seeing in real life versus the Pixel 7a, although they try to brighten it up and make it look better. Once again, it's a close one, but I'm going to give OnePlus a point in this round. Next, we got some crackers that I just threw on top of my keyboard for camera testing sake. Here it is on the OnePlus. And here it is on the Pixel 7a. To be honest, I don't have a preference one way or the other, but just in terms of capturing the whole background, I think the OnePlus does a better job with the keyboard in the back. It looks more clearer and you get a better sense of the whole picture versus the 7a. The front bag of crackers look fine, but the back keyboard is just a little bit blurry and out of focus. So once again, another point for OnePlus. Next on the list, we got my children's book. Here it is shot on the OnePlus Open, and then here it is shot on the Pixel 7a. This is a close one as well, but I noticed that the OnePlus Open, the color is more bright and vibrant and darker, versus the Pixel 7a, it is on the lighter shade. Once again, personal preference, which one do you guys prefer? But the 7a is actually a more accurate depiction of what I see in real life when I compare them two next to each other. So I'll give Pixel the edge in this round, especially the orange color, this bird book right here. It is the right orange that I'm seeing compared to the OnePlus Open. They made it much darker. I actually think the Open may actually look better. I like all the dark color and it's just very vibrant and sharp, but the 7a actually shows what I'm looking at in real life. So it depends if you're actually trying to capture something exactly the way it is, or do you want a more filtery, cooler look? So once again, it all depends on your personal preference and what your definition of a photo is. Do you want a photo that looks good, or do you want a photo that looks like exactly what you see in real life? So next we got my OnePlus box. Here it is shot on the OnePlus Open, and here it is shot on my Pixel 7a. The OnePlus Open actually does a better job of autofocusing and taking a picture right away. I just point and shoot, and that was it. With the Pixel 7a, when I was using it, I think because of all the colors and stuff in this picture, it was struggling to focus on one thing at a time, because I tried to take a closer photo compared to what I have with the OnePlus, but the app was actually telling me to back up because it was struggling to focus, which you can actually see when I finally hit the shutter button. Looks a tad blurry. I mean, if I'm spending all the time in the world, I'm tapping it, fix the focus, anything like that, I can probably get a better photo. But once again, just speaking from a point and shoot perspective, I like the OnePlus look more just in terms of like the color, the sharpness, even all the detail in my tripod stick. Compared to the Pixel 7a, it looks like it's struggling to capture everything. It tells me to back up, so like I was able to grab more of the whole scene, but at the same time, it wasn't able to focus on anything in particular. So not the greatest looking picture here. And once again, 1 point for OnePlus. Next on the list, we got the Mint Mobile box. Shout out to my partner again. This is shot on the OnePlus Open. And the second photo is shot on the Pixel 7a. I would give the edge to the 7a in this particular photo. I think it looks more accurate. The duck is more clear and sharp. Everything just has more detail and is more accurate compared to the OnePlus Open. The background looks kind of washed out. It's struggling to kind of focus here and there. So I'll give this round to the Pixel 7a. And now the final test is some soup that I had for dinner. This is a picture shot on the OnePlus Open, and this is the picture shot on the Pixel 7a. So I feel like the OnePlus Open tries its best to add more color and make it pop out more, versus the Pixel 7a, it goes for the more accurate look, so the color looks more pale. So it all depends on your personal preference, if you want a more Photoshoppy, poppy look, or you prefer a more natural look. This is a close one, but I'm gonna go with the 7a in this scenario. And long and behold, I was not expecting to get a tie, but 4 points each. So going into this, before I'd done any deep dive and camera tests and things like that, I guess I was pretty biased to begin with. I always knew like Samsung Galaxy iPhones, those generally produce the best photos, and I think by default I kind of just dismissed OnePlus instead of doing a really deep dive on it. But after doing this unofficial camera test, I think OnePlus kind of changed my mind just in terms of what they do have to offer, and the camera is actually pretty solid. So there you have it. I was wrong about the OnePlus camera. I would say it is pretty good, on par with what Pixel, Samsung. The one caveat that I want to throw out there is they offer more of a kind of Photoshoppy colored filter look. You're into that, and that's okay. But I think Pixel in general, they try to go for the more natural look. So there's that. There's really no right or wrong answer, but I do want to cover that. I know there was a lot of comments complaining about me talking bad about the OnePlus Open camera. But just in general, all these phones are expensive phones. They offer decent cameras, but with the OnePlus, you're not really getting it for the camera. You're getting it for the the processor, you're getting it for the tablet, all that other cool stuff. But at least it's nice to see that the picture quality has improved significantly. I would still argue that the Pixel 7a offer better video quality compared to the OnePlus Open. So I'll leave it at that. Alright guys, let me know if you find this video to be helpful. Please check out my final review if you haven't already. Remember to like and subscribe. Let me know your happy thoughts and questions before I finish up with the OnePlus Open and ship it away. But once again, appreciate the time as always, and see you guys in the next video.